But the videos were real because Jaffa, apart from getting the videos, he also sent it to Premium Times, to Amnesty International, to BBC, to other reputable news agencies to look at the videos and verify. So those other news agencies, they looked at the video, verified that the videos were real, that the videos were not doctored, and when the Jaffa published it, he had the support of those who were in the media space and those who were investigative journalists and civil rights groups and all that. They said the videos were true. But Ganduje was able to paint Jaffa as an operative of the Kwankwasia movement and all that. So he even sued the Daily Nigerian to court for 3 billion naira, but he later withdrew the case, and Jaffa countersued and all that. At the end of the day, Ganduje was fined money that he would pay Jaffa, and all that. So we have this thing in 2018, October 2018, when there were video clips showing Governor Ganduje collecting bribes in dollars. And this was shown in videos. There were videos supporting. So there's this corruption thing hanging over him. Ganduje was able to go for election in 2019. It was a very tightly contested election. And the first initial results, then the current governor, Abba Yusuf, was the same person that contested against Ganduje then. Initial result was Abba Yusuf leading, but the margins were close, and some of those local governments areas with the results were cancelled. There was now a rerun, and that's how Ganduje was able to recover, and he now won this re-election. So after winning that re-election, he now kind of the issue of the dollar bribe, and his name was changed from Ganduje to Gandola. So the Ganduje gates, the Gandola this thing, he was able to push it aside. There were investigations carried out by the State House, but went nowhere. After leaving as governor, the current government of in Kano State, they are against their opposition, NNPP. Ganduje is in APC. So they've tried to investigate and charge Ganduje, and now there are charges against Ganduje in court relating to corruption, this thing. But Ganduje is able to use this thing that this is my opposition, political enemies, and these things are contrived and stuff like that. So with that corruption cloud hanging over Ganduje, one would have expected that if it was the same country, right? Even if he wasn't charged to court for corruption, but since there were clear videos showing that he should not have won re-election. And even when he won the re-election, when he left as governor, someone with that kind of, past should not have been made chairman. Then, President Tinubu won, was sworn in May 29, 2023. And then in August, the former chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, was forced out. Ganduje was now made chairman of the APC. And during that time, from August 2023, August 2024, there were several videos showing, not videos now, sorry. There were several allegations of corruption. You understand? And there's this not central factor, which I've talked about in a previous video, for people that are from the zone of Abdullahi Adamu, the former chairman, saying that the chairmanship should have been zoned back to them, being that the chairman who left was from their region and stuff, And it got to a point that President Tinubu wanted Ganduje gone in August 2024, and Ganduje pleaded and he was kept back and all that. And since then, there have been accusations of undue interference of Ganduje in primary elections and in elections, there are several allegations against him until this recent incidents in Buhari area council primary election that Ganduje was accused of collecting money and the elections were rigged to favor the highest bidders. So now, Ganduje is forced to resign on account of corruption. And it's funny because he should not, if it was the same country, being that he has this allegation of corruption, with investigation that was done by investigative journalists, sting operation for 10 months, from 2016 to 2018, they gathered enough evidence to show he was collecting bribe from contractors that were awarded contracts by Kano State government. He was collecting kickbacks from them. So with that history of corruption, because before any key appointment is made in government, right, you would write to the SSS and other investigative firm to screen the person. So definitely it should have been screened. But now he became the chairman and now he's being forced to resign on account of corruption. And the people, the news sites that is reporting this is Daily Nigerian. It was Daily Nigerian that reported in 2018, Jafar, the founder of editor-in-chief of Daily Nigerian, was the one that reported the Gandola case in 2018. And now, another person still working under Daily Nigeria, Audu, is now the one bringing out this report. And interestingly, Ganduje, who was seen in the video collecting dollars from a contractor, continued as governor, won election to be governor, continued in his position as a governor. Whereas this Jafar had to run from the country because they were after him. Said people were coming to his residence in Kano, in Abuja. There were suspicious movements. He got scared that his life was at risk. At the point he petitioned the police, the IG of police, that his life was at risk. He said that if anything happens to him, Ganduje should be held responsible. At the point, Jafar and his family had to relocate from Nigeria to London, to Europe or UK. The person who was seen in the video collecting bribes continued in government and continued in high places in government. The journalist that reported it, that brought out the evidence, had to run for his or her life. That's to tell you how the system in Nigeria works. Where a journalist who do proper investigation to say, this person is like this, and people don't listen. I remember when President Buhari was asked about the issue. Then, because Ganduje won re-election and all that. So one of the questions that was thrown to Buhari then, he was asked about the videos of Ganduje. And Buhari was talking about, things can be, this anything, somebody can come up with anything, trying to suggest that the videos were manipulated and stuff like that. So it's ironical. The irony is there. Somebody in 2018, videos came out, he was accused of corruption, and he wasn't cleared of corruption. He's currently facing corruption charges in Kano. But he's able to say he's the opposite political opponents that are orchestrating that, And now, in 2025, June 2025, he's being forced to resign by the president on corruption. This country. If Nigeria was a country that works well, if somebody was accused of corruption in 2018, if proper steps were taken, such a person should not have continued in a position to continue his corruption, something up to 2025. So now, this revelation from Daily Nigerian is now showing, the previous video I was talking about Kano politics, North Central factor, a lot of things, but it now seems as if the main thing that is making Ganduje resign now may just be because of corruption. And the cloud of corruption that has been hovering over him has grown even thicker. The storm has grown thicker, and now Ganduje has been forced to resign. We just hope that the Nigerian system works better. Nigeria is a very corrupt country. If the justice system, the legal system works the way it's supposed to work, then people who have credible allegations against them for corruption should not be people who hold such high public offices. And I have to commend the president, because when there are allegations of corruption, the President Tinubu tries to do something about it. When there were allegations of corruption about Betta Edu, the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, she was made to resign and she left, Now that there was allegation of corrupt practices by the FCT Minister Wike, where he's awarding contracts, allocating lands to a firm that is under his son's name. He has ordered a probe. And now we saw the allegations of Ganduje collecting bribe from the APC primaries in Buhari and in Abuja area councils. He asked the SSS to investigate, and now he has taken action. So it's a good thing. If the president sees verifiable claims of corruption against people working in his government and in his party, and he decides to investigate and sees probable cause and decides to take action, it's a good thing. I just hope that other people will see and learn from this, that if they go about carrying out corrupt practices and all that, and doing as if they are untouchable and they can do anything they like, at least the system in one way or the other will catch up with them. So I must commend the president for at least taking this action. I just hope that other actions will be taken so that to address some of these corrupt practices and to address people who abuse their offices, who abuse their powers.